Hi, and welcome to Image Critique with Bryan and Rob. My name is Bryan Caparici, and I'm joined today with Rob Knoll, again, as always, and we have a great commercial image that we're going to pull up for critique today.
Awesome. I love commercial photography. Used to do it for, 12 years, something like that. And so the first thing that I always look for in a commercial image is the vertical lines every time. Good commercial architectural photography will always focus on making sure that the vertical lines are completely vertical. And one of the best ways to do that in architectural photography is to not go cheap, but to go out and buy a tilt shift lens that will actually help you make sure that wherever your camera height is set at, wherever you're pointing the lens up or down, you can actually shift the lens up and down and correct for those vertical lines right in camera without doing anything in Lightroom or Photoshop, which is pretty awesome. Ooh, what a concept. And what I do notice here is, at first look, it looks pretty good. You say, well, this looks pretty good, not bad. I mean, it's not super obvious. And yet, when I look at the distance from this line to the edge here and this line to the edge here, I can see that there is a greater distance here than there is here. There is actually a bowing effect happening in this vertical line right here. And so those are a couple of things I would want to really correct. If you're working for an architect, for example, someone who actually designed the structure, they are for sure going to want straight vertical lines. The designers may be okay with you doing this. Real estate agents are not as bothered by it, but it's kind of depending who you're working for. And I would just say, if you're going to get into commercial architecture, make sure that that is the number one thing that you're always thinking about for interiors, exteriors, whatever. Okay, so we've addressed that problem. Overall, it's a clean looking image. I think one of the things that I always want to sort of look at when I'm thinking about how to photograph a room is, what are the main features of the room. I honestly don't think we need as much information about a door as we have here. I think that the real interest is over here, where these beautiful skylights are happening, and the pool area, that's a pretty small pool. The bathtub area there. I think what I would have done is shifted my whole camera over farther to the right so that I could see more of the bath feature, the window feature, and still captured the door, maybe the first set of panels, and that's about all I would have needed there. Another little subtle thing is that, and it's always a bit of an argument in architectural photography, is with this much daylight streaming into the room, did you really need to put those lights on? And I think some photographers, when they're doing architectural, they just feel like the lights have to be on all the time for everything. I'm more inclined to say, if I want to show the room, to show the beautiful lighting that the room has, I'm not going to photograph it at this time of day. Every time you photograph something architecturally, you need to make the decisions, which is why, let me go back before I expound on that. You should always demand, when you're going to take on architectural jobs, that you can do a site visit before you actually do site photography. That way you can go around with the person that wants the photos, make notes as you go room by room, and you could be making decisions to say, okay, this kitchen doesn't have a lot of window light, it doesn't have a lot of natural light, so this probably needs to be photographed with all the spotlights and everything put on, and it's going to really feature and show this kitchen the way it would look at night. Whereas a bathroom like this is all about the natural light, so I'm for sure not going to have those lights turned on. The other thing that's starting to become a problem is that some of your highlights are blowing out here. In some cases, where there's like a shaft of sunlight coming into a room, it's okay if it's like a super bright area. But if it's this much, like there's a big chunk of space here that's lit by the sunlight, and I feel there should be detail there. So I think you need to pull the exposure back down. If this is a RAW file, bring those highlights back in so we get a little bit more detail there. And then you'll have to obviously boost up the shadows a bit more in that regard. And then my final thought with this shot is that it's a great room and all, but it doesn't look appealing or sort of give me a feeling about what this room could look like. And this is where staging comes in. So you've got empty towel rack, empty towel rack, empty towel rack, and it just looks kind of cold. And there's no personable, like, human element here whatsoever. So this is where I would take notes as I'm going through my walkthrough and say, okay, these are the colors of the walls. I'd probably take a couple of pictures close up of that. And then I'd say, okay, I need to go out and source some hand towels, some bath towels. I'd probably have some towels folded up over here, I'd probably
A
have
rubber ducky, perhaps, in the corner?
not a rubber ducky. Actually, I had an art director say no rubber duckies once. They don't want anything other than just a few simple items, but they have to add to the photograph. You don't want to overdo it with props. You can go crazy too far, in fact. So I think you just need to be sort of adding a few things. One of the things that for sure would help in here is some kind of plant. Whenever I do an architectural shot, I like to use a plant, either sometimes putting little foliage in the foreground that's out of focus just to give depth to the shot. You just want it to seem more lived in, because otherwise it's just a cold, sterile environment.
My main concern initially was, I picture myself walking into this room in the morning to have my shower, and I go to grab my toothbrush or my whatever out of the drawers, and where are the handles? That's my main concern.
What if these are those like push drawers that you push?
So if that's the case, then I retract my previous statement. Just again, I agree with a lot of what Rob said. The bowing of the lens is really obvious here on that panel of the door, because up here it's sort of straight, and down here it really goes out. So that's again, just the same thing Rob said over here as well. When you've got lines that close and they're not going to be straight, it just feels really weird. I would want to be careful. I know this is so I'm not a commercial photographer, but in looking at this, I would want to be careful for what you're seeing in the reflection when you have windows in a shot, or when you've got, I think it's just a medicine cabinet over there. I don't love that you've got just this little sliver of what I think is the opening of another door showing through there, and then the rest of it showing there. It just creates these weird lines over there in the reflection. And then also I've got like this little, obviously I think it's the reflection of this, coming through there, that just kind of distracts me from that. And I think if you would have, actually maybe your comment and my comment go together, because if you would have shifted a little bit to the right, you probably would have cut off that, you would have cut off this, and maybe just change your perspective a little bit just to watch for those reflections. Other than that, I agree with a lot of what Rob said. I'm not sure what you think, Rob, but obviously the ceiling is slanting down. Having this little sliver showing up here almost kind of gives me a weird feeling. Like I kind of feel like I'm not sure if the room is caving in on me, or if it's actually the ceiling caving in. Maybe either show more of it or less of it, perhaps, would just kind of help fix that perspective a little bit.
One of the things that is actually pretty shocking when you go to do some architectural photography is that you get your tripod, and by the way, you should be using a tripod for pretty much all of your architectural photography. But if you have your tripod leveled, and I like to buy tripods that have a little built-in level on them, and then you get the camera leveled, and then you're looking at the room and you realize that the room is actually not level.
Right.
So you have to always take that into consideration,
Right.
and you have to basically use the back of the screen to help you make sure that the lines appear to be straight, even if technically it's not level.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I shoot, I shoot on Fuji's, but you can actually put, I think it's 12 grid lines. Normally you can put your rule of thirds lines in your viewfinder. On Fuji, you can turn it on to, I think, 24 of them, so you have even more. I like doing it only because it lets me see more actual vertical lines in the viewfinder that I can then match up with some kind of vertical lines somewhere in the frame. Sometimes that kind of helps. The last thought too, just really quickly, is we've got all these nice clean colors in here, even up and over here, nice and clean. I don't know if it's a vignette or if it's just a lack of light getting to it, but down over here it starts to feel a little bit muddier and dirtier to me, and that doesn't show well when you're trying to show this nice, bright, pristine, beautiful, clean bathroom. So maybe just kind of either remove the vignette if you have it something that's automatically applying, or just do some selective dodging there.
One of the if you're getting into higher level architectural photography, one of the tricks that's involved with that is to actually take multiple exposures of the very same image. And in some of those exposures, you would take like a speedlight flash and you would put it on a lower power, and you would just aim it just into that lower panel of the bathtub. And then later, when you have those stacked up in layers in Photoshop, you can literally just paint that highlight detail back into the tub where it used to be before. So it's a whole different game shooting commercial photography, but this person is definitely on the right track.
Yeah. Thank you so much for submitting your image. If you'd like to have your image critiqued by Rob and I, send us a direct message on Instagram, and we'll be happy to add it to the queue. See you next time.